Thinking about moving to Nashville, Tennessee, or just want to know what it's like there? You are in luck. Today I have Alexa Coulton and Fred McGinnis, the Onyx Group realtors right there in Nashville. Say hi, you two.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
And we're going to talk to them just in a minute about what it's like there, what it would be like to move there. This is Wanna Move There, the show giving all humans the information they need to decide whether or not they want to move to a different area outside of where they are, or maybe you just want a vacation there or want a tour guide when you're visiting or whatever. Good thing for that. My name is Derek Bixler. I am your host, realtor of 15 years right here in Central PA. I grew up on the Hill, as we call it, here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I graduated from Mechanicsburg High School here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and I went up to college at Penn College of Technology, and you guessed it, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where the Little League World Series is. You can contact me if you need to buy or sell a home. You can call me, text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. We still need inventory pretty badly here in January of 2022. Depending on when you're watching it, it might be the same, might be different, and we will talk to them about what it's like there. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, please ask a question in the comments or just say hi if you know one of us. And if you're one of our people from abroad watching, tell us where you're watching from. And a reminder that all the replays are on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I already said Instagram, iTunes, Spotify, all the audio places, all the video places. So wherever you want to get your content. I even told you guys we're on Twitch. I don't know if I get any views on Twitch. I think I'm the only real estate agent on Twitch. I don't even know what it is really. I just kind of signed up and I clicked the button. But if you watch stuff on Twitch, I'll be there for you to watch. And now, without further ado, we will bring in our guests, Alexa Coulton and Fred McGinnis, realtors of the Onyx Group in Nashville, Tennessee. Say hello again. Say hello, and then both of you tell us what the last movie you watched was while I bring up your bio information.
Hi, I'm Alexa Coulton, and I have been, let's see, what's the last one? I was on Netflix, and we just had a snowstorm here a couple days ago. And when we have snow in Nashville, the whole city shuts down because we just don't know how to function. Nobody knows how to drive. A lot of people from Florida and California, nobody knows how to drive in the snow. It's a big panic. All the schools shut down. And my husband and I watched Don't Look Up. And it was fantastic because we don't have cable anymore. We switched everything over to Hulu and Hulu Live TV and Netflix and HBO Max. And that's all we have now, which is all you need.
All you need.
Yeah, I do it too. I did it a few years ago. And the catch always was that if you wanted to watch sports, and I know from talking before the show, and we'll talk about it more, that you guys love sports. So how do you watch sports? I do notice that it is on Hulu now, but not everything, not like Comcast has, right? Or do you guys have Comcast out, whatever the big cable company is there?
We have the Hulu Live with ESPN Plus. So we get everything. We get the Pens game. My husband's from Youngstown, Ohio, so he's big Pens Pittsburgh guy. So we watch all the Penn State games. We can go to the bars if we need to. But we get all the Pens games. We get all the Steelers games, and we go to a lot of the Penn State games.
His Pirates, yeah, you get all this stuff.
I used to like the Pirates back in the day. Way long ago. That's cool. Yeah. So the ESPN is just like an add-on thing that you can add on to your Hulu, just like they try to sell you like Cinemax upgrade or all that other kind of stuff.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know that they have a Cinemax upgrade, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. All right, Fred, what was the last movie you watched?
All right. Hello, guys. I'm Fred McGinnis here in Nashville with the Onyx Group, Alexa and I. And Don't Look Up is a excellent movie to watch.
Really
it's
good.
It's extremely funny movie.
Really long, but just
really long, extremely
keep
funny.
with it.
But the last movie I watched with the family was Spider-Man: No Way Home. Pretty good movie. Like the way they integrated all three of the Spider-Mans together to kind of come back and fight evil. You know what I mean? Try to save people, and so that was the last movie I watched. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but I guess Spider-Man is Marvel. But I do like the Spider-Man movies, and the girls are into it as well. So it was fun watching.
Fred's got some kids.
Yeah. Well, is that the one that's in the theater right now?
Yes.
Did you see it in 3D?
I saw it in what do you call it? 4K? Is that what it is on my television? I had a link from someone that sent it to me.
Don't
One
ask
of those.
for it.
Deals. Don't ask for the link. I can't send it to you. But it was beautiful. It showed well on my in-home movie theater.
He saw it in the theater.
I'm sure. Well, a lot of stuff's available same day, like Disney Plus or whoever's trying to
Right.
promote their
Absolutely.
subscription. They'll put it on theirs for like a week or something. So yeah, I think Dune was on like Cinemax or HBO Max, whatever that's
HBO
called
Max.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dune was on there for like the first 20 days it was out, same as theater or something. So I think, yeah, Spider-Man, it's on my list. I'll go to the theater every once in a while, like a child, but I'll go by myself and just get a whole bunch of
Right.
snacks at like a noon matinee with nobody there. But I want a 3D or an action movie, or like I like Star Wars and stuff like that, or Dune. I missed that in 3D, but I like that kind of stuff because there's no point in going to like a comedy movie at the theater. Kind of a waste of time, but all right, Alexa. And I feel like every time I say your name, everybody's stuff's gonna go. I'm sure you get that a lot. Do you have problems with that?
Amazon products in here right now, so we're good. We're clear. But hopefully this doesn't trigger anyone at home. I'm so sorry if it does.
Just say, Alexa, call Alexa Coulton with the Onyx Group in
call
Nashville,
me, but
Tennessee.
it's probably not your phone, but you should put your if you're moving to Nashville or if you just need any advice about Nashville, give me a call.
There you
Put the
go.
number in.
Do you have like a nickname that obviously? So do you have Google in your house? This is getting
Yeah.
off topic, but I'm
Yeah.
curious. So you have the Hey Google instead of Alexa in your house.
No, we have the Alexa.
So how do you
Yeah,
do that? Nobody
It's
calls
kinda
you by
fun.
your
I
name?
just call her like an evil twin. She's, she gets frustrating, but it's exciting.
That's
Kinda
funny.
spicy.
Yeah. So I'll go through. I'm gonna do Alexa the first time in the run through. I did both of your bios kind of at the same time, but I'm gonna do Alexa first, and then we'll come back and do Fred. So Alexa, you grew up right there in Nashville, and I just want to say Alexa every time just to make everybody's things go haywire. You went to St. Cecilia Academy for high school. You went to the University of Denver for art history. Your favorite color is blue, which is no surprise because I would say 95% of the guests have said blue or some shade of blue, a couple pinks, but mostly blue. Favorite food, pizza. I'm down with that. Right with you there. You do have pets. I think a dog, you said. Is that what it was?
Yes.
What kind of dog?
Hamilton. Everybody knows him, loves him.
Little Hamilton.
Little Hamilton.
Big or little? Little.
Little. He's a toy poodle. And he's a little red toy poodle, and everyone loves him. He's a little baby.
So is that so little? It's like a purse dog or
He's 8 pounds.
Yeah.
But we are soon getting a coming soon. It's not a baby. It's another dog. Franklin. And he is going to be a Wheaton plus poodle, a Woodle. And we're getting him in March. And he'll be about 35 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any reason you wanted it? Somebody just said, "Hey, do you want this dog?" Or you were in the market for a new dog, or
No,
what spurred
I'm
getting
all
another?
about the adopts, like don't shop. And we tried so many different times, but we do need a non-shedding dog because of allergies. And so we looked and looked and looked, and finally I was like, our dog's almost 6 years old now. I've been looking for 3 years for a non-shedding dog to adopt, and I was like, we are just going to get a dog for my dog. I want to get a dog for my dog, right?
Gotta have a
You gotta have
companion.
a friend for a
Yeah.
friend, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always the line I use for toys. Well, you got me the good guy. Now I gotta have a bad guy. I can't even battle. What are we doing here?
Gotta have one for each
I
shoulder,
don't want him
right?
to be lonely. So he goes to daycare and he likes all his buddies. So I gotta give him a friend. That's the reasoning, but it's probably not a good reasoning. I just really wanted to get a dog, and named after Coach Franklin, of course.
Nice. And do they stay home or do they go to the office with you, or
So
you said everybody
sometimes
knows
comes to
them?
the office. He's a great office dog. Sometimes he goes to his daycare. Shout out to the Belmont daycare. Love them. And sometimes he goes to my parents' house. So thank you to my parents who help out during showing.
Nice. So you don't have any kids, but you kind of have this furry kid and almost two furry kids now.
Yes.
And you are married to Chris, and you like trying new restaurants and traveling and watching football, which I touched on, and we'll talk about. I'm sure during the episode we'll touch on the football and sports a lot. And Don't Look Up, as you said, was your last movie you watched. And now I will go to Fred. Fred, you grew up in Huntsville. Where's Huntsville? Is that near Nashville?
Huntsville is just about an hour and a half south of Nashville, straight 65 south. It's right, just the most northern city in metropolis in Alabama, just right across the border there. And yeah, it's an easy ride north to Nashville or south on 65 to get back home to the parents.
Gotcha. That was going to be my next question. You still have family there, so your parents still live there. Is it still the same house you grew up in, or a different house?
No, it's different housing. Since I've moved and since I've gotten away from Alabama, I think it's been 2 or 3 moves per family. My mom and dad are not together anymore, so I think each family has moved twice, and so yeah, they've got a lot of mileage in the Tennessee Valley area out there in North Alabama. Yes, sir.
Do you have your license there also?
No, my brother's actually licensed there, so we didn't want to bump heads on, business. So we kind of just refer there to him, and vice versa here with us.
Perfect. Somebody you can trust to refer to stuff. And you went to high school right there at Butler, and you're the Rebels in Huntsville.
Yes,
you went to Alabama, Huntsville. So distinguish that for me again. You told me a little bit before, but so there's Alabama University.
Yeah, University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa. It's the Division I state school there. University of Alabama, Huntsville is north in Huntsville, Alabama, of course, and it is not a branch of or subsidiary of University of Alabama. It's its own college university, and that's why I play college basketball at. Hey, it's still a wonderful school. It's one of the best academic schools in the nation, huge on engineering, IT, and the medical field.
What position did you play in basketball?
I was a combo guard. I could play the 1, 2, or the 3, whichever, just whatever the matchups called for the night. So,
what would you prefer playing?
The 2. I prefer playing the 2 because I can get out and run the floor when necessarily have to be in control of running the whole team, kind of like, so just get out and run the floor and guard like I like to do. Just kind of be a free soul on the floor, and playing the 2 allow me to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I was a 2-3. If it was ever like I needed to bring the ball down, I hated doing that. I would rather just we rebound and I'm sprinting. Fast break was my jam. I was down in that corner just waiting. Yeah. You don't even have to look. You could just rebound it and toss it to that corner, and I will be right there waiting for it. That's awesome. Did you play any other sports in high school or anything?
Yeah, I played high school basketball and baseball as well. Actually, baseball is my first love, and I probably would have played baseball in college, but I tore my shoulder up my sophomore year, and wasn't able to kind of like throw baseball or football anymore. It kind of got away from that. And the one thing that I knew there's always been there. I come from a basketball family. My oldest brother played at Texas A&M, and then my middle brother played at Georgia Southern University. So basketball has always been there. I kind of wanted to take a different route, but of course, you tell God you're playing and he'll show you another one kind of deal. So that's kind of what happened. And so I ended up getting a scholarship in basketball. So
nice. I'll have to include you on I do like horse with Brandon in real estate all day. I'll do like a trick shot or something, and then I'll call him out, and then he has to match it. I haven't done too many so far with him, but I've done it with other people. It's a little bit fun.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'll tag both of you in the next one I do. I'll tag you and anybody else I can think of that plays ball. And I'm sure I know you guys are both better than me, but, and what did I say? Oh, you studied communications at Alabama. Your favorite color is black, which is fantastic. I think my official color is red, but black, if you dissected it, what color are my clothes? Black. What color do you use the most? Black. So objectively, probably be black, I would think.
That's what I told Alexa. I said, it's probably black. I think that's all I wear is black.
It was
So
like, all I have is black. And then he shows up in a green shirt today.
Right.
So I was like, in a black shirt. I was like, Fred, what happened?
Well, I got my black V on, so.
You don't be too alike. You look like one person sitting there. And your favorite food is lasagna. Did your wife cook lasagna?
She makes a great lasagna. She actually makes really good pastas, but lasagna is like the best. There's a baked ziti she makes, and the baked spaghetti she makes that is phenomenal as well. But oh my God, that lasagna of hers is delicious. Yeah.
And it's good heated up too, that casserole type of thing. You make a big giant tray of it and then you have it for lunches and dinners and stuff for like a week straight after that.
Right. And see, I'm not big on leftovers. So, but lasagna you can eat so many days, you know what I mean? So yeah, it kind of fits the bill. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like leftovers, but soup I like leftover because it's almost better like a few days
the next
later.
Day.
It all marinated a little bit. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, especially.
Now I'm getting hungry. And you have pets too, right? You have a dog? Just one dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. His name's Saban, named after the great Nick Saban. He's
we'll have rival
like a Yorkie Poo mix deal, and he was initially for the girls and the wifey, and it kind of turns out to be Katrice's dog because the girls kind of neglect their duties.
I know how that goes. From the being the kid standpoint, dog, I'll take care of it. Nah. Yeah. And then, like I said, you are married and you have 3 kids, 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 14-month-old. So what is that? That's a 2-year spread and then about an 8-year spread. So how did that happen?
Okay, so Carson and Sydney are from my first marriage when I was out of college. And they're great. They come from my former wife, Miss Sierra. Carson's 11 is my 11-year-old daughter, and Sydney's my 9-year-old daughter. And then I met my wife at the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, Kentucky Derby.
Did she have a cool hat on?
Oh, she had a cool hat on. Yes, she did.
She's a fashionista.
She's a fashionista, so she was all about that. And so we met there, and I actually. We got married 2019.
He proposed to her at the Kentucky
Derby. Yeah,
which is very cool.
Yeah, I proposed to her. It's
not the same
cool
day,
though. I
though.
have to share it with you. Not the
same day you met her.
This was years later, bro. This was like 4 years later.
That would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been great, right? It was like. I was
gonna say you must have been drinking a lot that day, or you won big that day.
Oh, you know it.
Every time.
It's a whole lot of what do they call it? It's a whole lot of. Stella, a whole lot of bourbon, man. So so we met there, and that's how our relationship started. And then we were blessed in 2020 with FJ, Fred Jr., who is the 14-month-old little boy. So I got my little boy out of it. So I'm good.
Nice, yeah, that's awesome. I have 2 girls and 1 boy, and same thing. What'd you say? The gender reveal? Did you cry?
Right.
Yeah, we have one girl, and then
I think he almost it was at someone's house. It was in an Airbnb, and I thought the house. He was going to take the house down, run straight through a wall or something.
It was awesome because I did the whole golf ball, the whole golf swing that crack, and then the power comes up. So I did that whole deal, and it was like a delayed reaction because I couldn't believe it. I was
like, wait, is that blue? That's blue, right? That's blue.
Yeah, it's blue. That's blue. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And girls are awesome because when you're a guy, you kind of like always want boys. I guess maybe that's not true, but you kind of always want a boy. And then I had a daughter first, and then I was like, I'm in love with daughters. And then we had twins, and then at that gender reveal, the first we did cupcakes or something. The first one we did was another girl, and I was like, oh. And then we did the next one, it was a boy, and I definitely broke down. So I feel you. Girls are great, but I want me a boy too in the mix, and to carry on the name. I don't think. Me and my son, I might be, and maybe one of my cousins are like the only ones left to carry on the name. So a little bit
sweet.
And then trying new restaurants and traveling and watching football are also your same hobbies. So both of you tell me a little bit about restaurants and traveling. Well, tell me about football, because we talked about football. Do you go to games and stuff yourselves? You said people are involved with football in some way that you guys are related to?
Yeah, I'll let Alexa go first, and then I'll tell you about my
Well,
football.
my husband grew up in Youngstown. His husband,
It's
he does not have a-
It does not have us.
his dad is.
I mean, whatever.
Hey, that's okay. But no, his dad is from Pittsburgh, and he grew up going to all the Penn State games because his aunt went to Penn State. She took him to all the games. So we go to a lot of the Penn State games. I think we go to like at least 2 a year, and then we try to go to the bowl game if they make it. Come on, Penn State, you
Right.
do. And just saving up money for one day, maybe a national championship. Maybe in my lifetime, we're hoping.
So where do you watch those games? Here or there when they travel or something? Or
If they're traveling, we'll go to. We've been to Indiana. We've
Yeah.
been to. This year. We went to.
I went to a light out.
We were at Maryland. We
Oh,
went
yeah,
to
Maryland.
see
That's what it
Maryland.
was. Yeah.
So we like to travel and see different areas, and I'm big on traveling and just seeing different areas, trying
And shopping.
shopping. Caprice and I both love to shop. Okay, and I like to find a good deal. I'm a deal hunter, no matter if it's with homes, with handbags, with clothes, with shoes. I don't like to pay full price. I tell my clients that up front. I'm like, I'm not a full price gal. I don't like this, and that's what's been really hard for me with this market is, with all these multiple offers. I don't like when my clients have to pay full price, especially over. Drop all the-
significantly over, and no inspections,
Yeah,
and
so,
give away the farm.
Right.
Yeah.
But hopefully here we'll get back to kind of a more level market in the next year or so.
So do you haggle? And on my favorite TV show right now, Letterkenny, if you haven't watched it, Letterkenny's hilarious.
No,
they call Letterkenny. It's a Canadian comedy show. It's one of those that like you'll either love it or think it's the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life. But they call negotiating dickering. So it sounds like you are good at and like dickering. Do you dicker with the people outside of the venues that we talked about earlier that sell the T-shirts and sell all the merch and do all that stuff outside of football venues? Do you negotiate with those people?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I lived in New York, and I'm a big haggler.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in paying full price. I don't believe, like, if you see a handbag at, wherever, like you see a handbag at Nordstrom's and you see a full price, I'm not paying that sticker price.
Right.
I am finding it secondhand. I am finding it at a Goodwill. I mean, I will find it somewhere. I am not paying, if it's $1,000, $500, I'm not paying that price. That's just not what I'm paying. And it always comes to fruition. Something, I find it at a Nordstrom rack I always find it. People are just amazed by my haggling and my negotiation skills. My sourcing
I feel you.
skills.
I suck at the negotiation. I hate that. I should say that as a realtor, or like little things like that, like face to face with like dickering. I'd prefer not to do that, but I'm there with the deal. If it's not on sale, I'm not even looking at it. I'm going straight to the clearance rack pretty much every time. A couple exceptions, like my favorite pants, I'll pay full price for those because they're kind of controlled, kind of like Apple products. You can't really find it on sale anywhere. But other than that, I'm trying to find a deal. So do you like a deal, Fred, or what's your connection to football other than shopping with Alexa when you go to football games?
I'm from the great state of Alabama. So
Great state of football.
The great football capital, the mecca of football, college football. People joke all the time and say the Alabama has a pro team. Yes, we do. University of Alabama. Crimson Tide is our pro team. But no, like she said, big Alabama guy. My dad's an Auburn grad, so he's basically the black sheep of the family, and everybody else is Alabama guys. We, like she said, I don't pay full price for any anything at the stadium and inside of the stadium. I'm not playing full price, so I know I'm not going to pay full price outside of the stadium. I'm going to find a way to get that T-shirt half price off. Somebody around the corner is going to have it for half price off. So that's what we do, and even like negotiating tickets with the different ticket outlets. Be it
you can do that?
Yes.
Fred will sweet talk his way into anywhere. He talked to a security guard one time who was having a cigarette, and he got into like, what was it?
It was game 7 of the Preds. Yeah,
game 7 of the Preds. The guy was outside.
Yeah, it was NHL. It was the NHL playoffs.
He was like, "Oh yeah, just come in the back entrance." Did not pay.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You don't know.
So you just like show up and talk to whoever's working.
Yeah, you don't know unless you ask. You gotta ask.
This is true. And last minute is probably the best way. If you tried to get a discount or something, you're not getting it. But if you just show up and they're like, whatever, go in.
Right.
Or buying a T-shirt too after the game is probably when you get the deal. I'm not going to buy the T-shirt before the game. I'm going to go afterwards when they're trying to liquidate for the night for sure. And just like we used to go into the food court to Sbarro's, you could get a pizza for like $2 at 8:59 p.m. right before they close.
There you go. When the ball's about to close. There you go.
They'll give you a whole pizza for like $2.
There you go.
You're like, I don't want this.
And always find a vendor that's furthest away from the stadium, and that's your guy to get your stuff from.
And all that national championship stuff, they'll sell that 2 months later for half off.
On the real site.
Yep.
So just wait your time. Yeah.
There you go. Deal finders. Nothing else.
Deals.
Yep.
And now we'll get into Nashville, and everybody knows where Nashville is for to some degree. But I didn't bring it up. I did bring it up. Sorry.
Bachelorette capital of the world.
You can see the pin there, and you got our globe here, United States, and it's eastern half, kind of middle of the east. What would you call it? That's not Midwest. What are you guys? You're not South either. What?
Yes, it's
South?
definitely South. Yeah.
Southeast.
Okay. So it's south. We would call it the South in the United States. And we'll zoom in here. And Tennessee, the way I always remembered the states are that like Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Iowa are a chef. And then Tennessee is the tray, and Kentucky is a piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken on top of the tray. So you can see Tennessee is the tray there. That's the only state I can really tell you where it is Tennessee and Kentucky because of that little trick for the most part. Awesome. And then it is pretty much central, it looks like. I mean, it's the capital, so they like to be somewhat central, just like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is somewhat central. It's a little northwest, a little bit there. We can zoom in. Looks like there's some bodies of water there, and then I'm going to read my little blurb here. Right there, it's according to Google, it's 41 degrees, which is a little bit warmer than here, which makes sense. You're a little bit south from here, and I'm going to read the quick facts from Google. Nashville is the capital of the U.S. state of Tennessee and home to Vanderbilt University. As we'll talk about later, there are lots of other universities. They just chose to mention that one for some reason. Legendary country music venues include the Grand Ole Opry House, home of the famous Grand Ole Opry stage and radio show, the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, and historic Ryman Auditorium are downtown, as is the district featuring honky tonks with live music and the Johnny Cash Museum celebrating the singer's life. So obviously it's a big singing town, and we're going to talk about that a lot. But before we do that, let's talk about what the landscape is like there. Here in Pennsylvania, we've got oak trees, lots of trees and forests and things. You're a little bit south. Do you still have forests and things there, or what's the landscape like?
No. Well, it's very hilly. We have like kind of valleys and hills, which doesn't make for great tornado weather,
right?
Unfortunately, but and also doesn't make for great when it snows and we have ice because we have a lot of hills and valleys. But it does make for a beautiful landscape. I'll tell you that much. So when you look out, there's like a lot of hilly. It's not just flat, like how a lot of Kansas and stuff is flat.
A lot of Texas is flat.
Yeah, but
we have beautiful neighborhoods on hills throughout the city. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. You can go south, you can go east, north, you can go west, and it's just a hilly terrain, and it's just beautiful, especially when you're on top of the let's say if you're on a rooftop hotel or something or a restaurant and you just look across, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We even have an area called Green Hills where it's just kind of hilly and houses are top, on top
Just
of
flowing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
We like the hills here. And I'm looking at that you have a Lebanon we have a Lebanon here slightly to the east of Harrisburg. So we both have a Lebanon. And I'm looking here, there's a river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's the river that runs through here? Looks like there's a fairly major river and maybe some other body of water.
We have a couple of bodies of water that's normally frequented by tourists or citizens of Nashville. You have the Cumberland River. You also have Percy Priest Lake. You have a ton of
Old Hickory
Lake. You have like a lot of action on the water when you're here to visit. It's absolutely something to do when you come here, is to get a boat and
paddleboard, yoga.
Yes.
People a lot of people have at lake houses, and they'll have houses even if it's just 30-45 minutes away from their house.
Absolutely.
So it's a big thing here to get a second lake house.
Yeah, it sounds like very similar to here. We got mountains and hills and things. No huge giant like Vermont or Colorado or something, but we've got hills and mountains and nice trees everywhere and forests and a lot of bodies of water, which is nice. Nice to live somewhere where we're not going to have water wars in the next 20 years or something.
Right.
Yes.
And a lot of places here where people will buy a second home, like you said, an hour away. Just out in the woods near some lake somewhere. So sounds kind of cool and similar to here. So I would like that. And I definitely I'm not a beach person, so I don't like that kind of landscape. And also the kind of the Kansas, I don't know, Kansas isn't desert or anything, but it's flat, I guess. I'm going to have to watch my own episode back for Kansas to see what it's like there.
Kansas is pretty flat. I went to University of Denver. So when I had to drive, we had to drive all the way through Kansas, and it is pretty flat.
But they do have trees and stuff there, so it's not necessarily like where you could see like where you're going. That's the worst. Is when it like a Vegas scene where it's a road and you can see where you're going, but it's actually like 8 hours away.
Right.
Oh no, that's
it
like
never
Arizona.
gets closer.
Arizona or Utah.
Yeah, that's not a good drive at all.
No.
And then being in a valley, rivers are always in valleys, and you talked about valleys and things. Here, we're in the Susquehanna Valley, and we tend to get clouds that just kind of come here and sit. It seems like we have overcast every freaking day. It's not, I think we're like half days of sunshine a year, 150 or 100, something like that. What's it like there? Do you get a lot of that overcast as well?
Yeah, we're definitely in the valley. We're in the Tennessee Valley, which basically makes up southern Tennessee, northern Alabama, and some parts of Georgia and Mississippi to the left of us. But yeah, it is definitely a valley where that's why when tornadoes and things come through here, that they come here and then they kind of like just get in the valley and knock around and make it a very, very sad situation here in town.
And they do go through a lot of the same patterns. A lot of our tornadoes go the same route, and they've done a lot of reports about that, about kind of.
Do they call it like a tornado alley or something?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. We would be.
Do you know? Does it like? Are they bad ones?
Oh yeah.
That like do the total destruction. And...
Yeah. F5s. We just recently had one.
Really horrible tornado a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was really devastating for so many Nashvillians, and people that live outside of town as well. And then we just recently had one that was devastating as well, especially for people in Kentucky. It was really devastating. So
is that something you get special insurance? Like it's so prevalent that you have to get insurance for it or anything special for it? Or
no.
Not like that. It's not, to a point. It's just with the weather, with the climate change and things of that, and that nature just makes it difficult when a storm comes through, because there's a potential. If there's a potential of a tornado, we'll probably want to see one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other natural disasters that people have to worry about? You don't have earthquakes. You got a little bit of tornadoes. You probably have hurricanes too, right?
Well, you get the rain from the
Flooding, yeah.
from the hurricanes that's come from the Gulf of Mexico on up, and we are actually on I would say a what do you call a fault
I've never heard of
fault line or whatever,
earthquake.
and it's not something. It may be a 2.0. You might no one feels it, but it may report, hey, we had an earthquake in Bowling Green. It's just north of us. You know what I mean? It's just you may hear that every once in a while, but nothing to the point to where it's like California. You know what I mean? Where it's not happening like that.
Yeah, the big one's not coming.
Nah, not the big one.
And then what about snow? You mentioned snow, or you can go ahead, say whatever you were going to say.
One thing that's really great, I know we're mentioning all these horrible things, but what I love about Nashville, and I think a lot of people who move here really enjoy, is that we have all 4 seasons, and we really do enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Being in Nashville, born and raised, I love that we do have a true spring, a true winter, a true fall, and a true summer. And although the summers are hot and they're humid, because we are in the South, we do transition into a fall and then into a winter and then into our spring, And so we really do have all of our true seasons. It's very different than other people of, Southern California, for example, who have kind of that similar climate all year round.
Yeah, and you said you had a snow, but when I forget if we said it during the episode or before, but you said you had a snow shower somewhat recently, but everything's shut down. So you do get winter, but you're not necessarily true winter people like us Northerners would say.
It's not like the Northeast. Crazy. No, it's not like the Northeast at all.
No, but we get a little bit of snow, which is that to us that's true winter. Right. That is a true winter if you get some snow. But it does get cold and it'll dip down to 10 degrees and it has been seasonably warm this year. But just up until recently, I think it's been, other places as well, but we did have our big snow. We do get at least a snow, I think, every year.
What about sleet and freezing rain and hail, the other frozen things? Yeah,
all the fun stuff.
Get all the good stuff that comes with it, with all the weather. It's kind of like a combination of things that hit you, and then it just drops on Nashville.
We're used to it here in Central Pennsylvania, so anything, but it makes the sunny days super, super awesome when it comes. You're like, glorious. I'm going outside all day today. It's hard to work. So what's the commute like there? Obviously, when it snows or something, you said everything shuts down. So when you have inclement weather like that, and we'll talk about the commute in general, but do you have salt trucks? Do they plow? Do they do anything? Or it's just like we wait it out for a day and hopefully it melts tomorrow?
Well, normally we get a fair warning from the broadcasters, the news broadcasters, on when we may have inclement weather. So they do a pretty good job. The Tennessee Department of Transportation and everybody that's in charge of the main highways and roads, they do a pretty good job of salting the roads, sanding the roads, whatever they got to do to kind of, help us out. But you can't really plan for Mother Nature. Mother Nature can come in and make things a little difficult. And because people, like she said earlier, people not used to driving in that type of weather, makes it hard to travel in, to commute to get to work or to school. And so everybody just cancels school, cancels work, and kind of, make it a stay-at-home snow day for you. You know what I mean? You could look at it as a positive. You know what I mean? If it snows here, you're going to get a day at the house. So.
Everyone goes
That's what I like.
Buys up the eggs.
There you go.
It is wild. You should have seen there was not a piece of bread or eggs to be found
anywhere
in one grocery store 2 days before that snowstorm.
To get you through one day. It's hilarious what people do.
Yeah, one day.
And up here, we don't even have snow days anymore. I mean, we have snow days, but then it's still a school day because they do it via Zoom now that they know how to do it. So snow days, they don't really have anymore. So I'm thinking one day we might just protest and not do the Zoom and go sledding and make ice cream or something. Because it's kind of BS that they don't get snow days anymore.
Right. Well, that's because it snows so much up there probably, too.
Well, and they have the Zoom now because of COVID.
Yeah. It doesn't snow as much as it used to, but we have a ski mountain here, but they pretty much have to blow every inch of snow that they have.
Really?
So when everything does shut down, is that a big problem? Like with commuting, are people mostly living like in Nashville, or do they live out in surrounding suburbs and commute into Nashville for work?
So a lot of people do live in the surrounding areas in kind of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Franklin, um, Brentwood, but Brentwood's really
Columbia,
gotten very
yeah.
expensive. Franklin's even gotten expensive. So people are moving out to, especially in that, affordable price range. And, for that first time home buyer really can't even get to that Brentwood Franklin anymore. It's having to go out to Mount Juliet, Lebanon, and Mount Juliet's even gotten very pricey. So Ashland City has been building, Whites Creek,
Hermitage, Old Hickory.
Bellevue.
Yeah.
So that is a drive in to the city.
And how far from like Lebanon or Franklin into the center city?
That's going to be about 40 minutes, and that's not even when the traffic's that bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive east from Lebanon to Nashville if there is a ton of accidents or something like that. But like she said, if it's a bad traffic day, you can be on a 45-minute commute. North of Nashville, you can be on about a 40-minute commute to Hendersonville area, Springfield and White House, and then south, just getting everyone coming out of the city to get back to the southern suburbs. You can be about a 35 to 45-minute commute as well. So, I mean, it's a very busy city, very busy city. It's growing for a reason. And you can tell every day somebody moves here and you're just adding another vehicle to that. And we just got to make sure that
we're working towards some sort of transportation, train,
some type of transit program.
Public transportation.
Public transportation has been
discussed
daily.
We have buses and everything, but we have the Nashville Star, which is really great.
Yes.
But it only takes a certain group out to a certain area, so it doesn't take everybody out. And they were talking about doing a tram of some sort, but people got upset, and then they got upset about the budget. So they just have to figure it out, and they have to make it work because there's just too many people moving here. The job opportunities are growing, and there are more and more jobs coming here every month.
And what's the shape of the roads? Here we have our state's old, so everything's old and everything needs replaced, and always some road under construction. And we have freezing and thawing and snowing and plows. So our roads suck here, and all our bridges need replaced. What's the infrastructure as far as like roads and bridges and stuff like that down there? Is it bad?
The infrastructure here is not terrible. They did a big rehab on 440, which is the main highway that gets us pretty much from the west side to the south side to the north side of the city. So they did that, and that helped a ton. I mean, you still have some areas with potholes, but not to a point to where it's going to cause an issue in driving. Now, like all places, I'm sure there's places that we're not speaking of that have some issues, but bridges are pretty nice, pretty fair. We haven't had any issues with those. And I mean, overall, if it's not rush hour, it's not a big deal. Does that make sense? So if it's just a normal time after rush hour, you're good. But that comes with a growing city. You know what I mean? I mean, like she said, we have Google here now. We have Amazon. All these are corporate. Apple's coming. Like everybody is coming here. So Amazon, it's like dead smack in the center of downtown where they're placing these people.
Are commuting in.
Yeah,
we need that transportation from outside to inside. Much like Denver.
That was going to be one of my questions is, does everybody go into the city? Because here, some people go into the city, but a lot of now, like the corporate headquarters are starting to be kind of outside of the city in the suburb areas, and there's office complexes outside of the city. But it sounds like in Nashville, a lot of those headquarters and things being built and the places people are going into the city.
Yeah, they are all in the city, downtown or right.
It's the place to be. And they want to be there.
And so we really do need to get our transportation kind of figured out. Something going. So.
And what about toll roads? That'll be the last question about commuting. Do you have toll roads and Easy Pass there?
We do not have toll roads or Easy Pass. Yeah.
I always just assumed everybody had it, and then it wasn't until I started talking to people on this show they were like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Yeah. I'm like, what?
No.
How do you pay for your crappy roads? You have better roads than us.
There you go. The roads aren't that bad to where we need toll roads or Easy Pay. There you go. But like states like Georgia has toll roads, Florida has toll roads, Alabama, we don't have them in Alabama. It's kind of weird how it's positioned. Like the more southeast states have it, but we don't have it here in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, and I guess all those states are kind of like the through states where anything going north and south goes through, and they need to pay. They need people from outside. That's another reason our roads suck, is because everybody travels through. All these people that don't pay taxes here to maintain our roads, but they drive through and mess our roads up. So then you end up having to charge those people with a toll so that you can pay for your roads. But all right, so what are the major industries there? Obviously, you talked about Apple. What other corporate, sports, colleges, medicine? Tell us what the major employers are.
You have first off, the entertainment industry is huge here. You have so many tourists that come into the city that the entertainment part of it is a big deal in terms of the money that it brings to the city. You have
music mainly.
Music. Oh my God, music, arts. You have restaurants, food. You have fashion. You have huge healthcare area here. IT tech area here. You have
universities and colleges.
Oh my God, you have like over 20 universities and colleges in this area. I know it mentioned Vanderbilt University and the Google. Obviously, somebody who wrote that Vanderbilt knows what they're doing. It's a ton of great colleges here, universities here. Just one of many. And what else will we have? Oh, sports, big time. You have the Tennessee Titans here. You got the NFL here. You have the NHL here. The the Preds, the Nashville Predators. We have a minor league baseball team, the Nashville Sounds.
Soccer team.
Oh, we have the MLS soccer team. In the what's it called? Soccer club. Nashville Soccer Club.
Nashville Soccer Club.
And they're doing really well. They're actually building a beautiful state-of-the-art stadium in the fairgrounds for them that should be completed here this year for them to play in. So there's a ton of things here that help drive this market. But I would be willing to bet outside of like the corporate healthcare, the corporate tech, the corporate IT, the corporate things like that, I would be willing to bet that entertainment and tourism is probably the biggest thing here.
It's a huge thing.
It's huge for us. We're one of the, I think we surpassed Vegas as the bachelorette
Party.
place to come.
Because of the TV show? I think there was a surge during or after since the TV show. Not crediting it fully, but I think there was a surge.
The TV show Nashville.
Yes. Raina James, right? But yeah, we have a great downtown core center. They have just set it up just beautifully with all of our sports. Bridgestone Arena is downtown where the Predators play. A lot of the music is there. The Ryman Auditorium is downtown. They did a beautiful 5th and Broadway where there's shops, restaurants, and
the Sin Theater where a lot of the big time acts come. That's
an outdoor music.
Outdoor music venue right off the river. It's just very, very, very nice. And it's always something to do in Nashville.
So tourism is obviously big, and you touched on colleges, 20 colleges. That's good, which is probably why some of those other people like Apple and Google come there, because there's a good pool of educated people to work for them sitting there already. So you got the education and tourism, you got the colleges, you have sports, you have medical, like everybody has. Is there any military presence around there?
Yes,
we do. Yes, we have a military base in Clarksville. And it's I'm not sure exactly what the base is.
It's Fort Campbell.
It's Fort Campbell, but I don't know exactly what it
and
is.
it serves a ton. We have a lot of people that serve there. It serves, and they make up a really good part of the Clarksville and Tennessee corridor in terms of housing. We thank them for their service. And also we have right in Smyrna, we have another base, and I think this is where the National Guard normally meets for monthly, when they do the monthly meetings or whatever, monthly trainings, they meet there. So yeah, it is a huge military base. Just like any southern city, you're going to have a ton of military representation there. And Nashville is one. I see a lot of recruiters out now, so it must be a lot going on in terms of the military.
And then what about, it's the capital of Tennessee also, so you have the state government right there in Nashville. Is that a big employer as well?
Yeah. Got the governor.
A lot of state employees. They love those state jobs.
They love those state jobs, buddy. They love those state jobs.
They're good jobs. I mean, you can't blame them. As long as they pass the budget and you get paid.
There you go.
So you started talking about what there is to do. There are obviously lots of tourism, lots of entertainment, food, all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty crunchy town, as I kind of call it. It's pretty trendy, right? A lot of craft breweries, farm to table, handlebar mustaches, and all. Am I picturing it kind of correctly?
Yeah. Yeah, you've just basically named the what we call East Nashville.
Yeah, but it is just a cool town. People want to come here, and people want to be a part of it. People are moving here from. I describe it kind of like, I don't know if you're very familiar with Mexico, but my brother's fiance is from Mexico. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with Mexico, but my parents go there every year, and people don't know a lot about Central Mexico. Central Mexico is like, Mexico City, though, is such a vibrant, cool city with shopping and food and history. And it's the very cool city. But a lot of people think about Cabo and, Cancun, and right when they think about
places,
Mexico.
Beaches,
But Mexico City is actually a very, very just interesting city. And I think that's what's happening with us. We are just a vibrant city with history, culture. We have got the restaurants. We have jobs, and people are moving here. They don't want to be out in California anymore. They don't want those taxes. We have really good taxes, and people like our culture. People like the food, and they want to be here.
It was definitely. I was reading an article last week as we was prepping to do this, and I saw that Nashville's a top 10 location for people to travel. To people to move to. It was on there with Austin, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina was on there. Let's see, it was Kansas City, Missouri might have been on there. It was like really nice cities, and Nashville was like in the top 10 as to destinations of places to move to, and for good reason. It should be. It has it all, man. We have it all. We have good people here. Mm-hmm. We have amazing food,
really good food.
And amazing, like she was saying earlier, we have an amazing entertainment district. We have all the shops for you in terms of boutiques that you would ever think of, and the great universities and great school systems for high school kids and grade school kids as well. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that people don't touch on a lot. We have great school systems in Rutherford County, Williamson County, mm-hmm. Sumner County, all these places where where the people are moving to, where your kid can get a great education.
Plus our airport, they're revamping our airport.
Now you can fly internationally.
Yes. You directly to London. They did stop it because of COVID, but they're going to bring it back. And they've done a whole revamp so you can eat locally inside our airport. You're not eating. You can still go find a Burger King or a Starbucks, but you can also find Hattie B's. You can find 8th and Roast. You can find. You can find the good local places that you would want to see. As
Slim and Huskies.
Slim and Huskies, yes.
Slim and Huskies.
Old Red, the bar Old Red, owned by Blake Shelton. You can go in the airport and find that. Yeah. So it's very cool. The way they've revamped that airport, I'm very proud of what they've done there.
So is there any food item like fried chicken or barbecue, or is there anything that you guys are known for?
Nashville hot chicken is everywhere.
Oh yes, of course, hot chicken, which is fried chicken soaked in hot stuff, or there's actual spices in the
The spices
breading.
in the chicken.
No,
Yes.
at Hattie B's, they
And Hattie B's,
soak
they
it.
so
Yeah.
just different people have their
Yeah.
own version of it. But I would say the original Nashville hot chicken was Prince's hot chicken that I'm familiar with. Now maybe someone else can tell you something differently.
And it's
And that
so-
still exists.
Oh yeah, Prince's, yeah.
Prince's hot chicken, buddy. Look it up. It is
All right.
delicious.
I wonder if they have a line
If
out
you
the
ever
door
found-
because
you
everybody
let us
going
know.
there probably looks up what's the best hot chicken, and then
There you go.
Prince's
They
is
probably
really
do
good.
Prince's
And you
as
well.
can have it in Broadway.
Yeah, and you can get it at Fifth and Broadway, and also at the it's the brewery over there, Smoky. Is that they have a
Oh, they
food
do?
truck
Okay,
out back.
okay, great.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a good place.
And so,
to
what
eat.
about you? You mentioned that there's lots of sports teams. So obviously, you have big stadiums around. What would be the go-to one? Where do they have all the concerts and stuff? Like if Justin Bieber comes to town, or I don't know why I keep saying Justin Bieber in every episode. I'm like, I'm going to
In every
change it from him.
episode.
Whatever. It's Justin
So
Bieber.
Justin
If he
Bieber
comes to town,
he can sell out. He can sell out Nissan Stadium because he's Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But he'll probably have
Can he?
Bridgestone.
Is he that big?
Oh, he's a big deal.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's a big deal. So Bridgestone definitely.
He's got that ghost song. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So you got Justin to sell out Bridgestone by itself. If it's it'll sell out in a hurry.
Could he sell out Nissans?
If he brings some more people with him, maybe.
More people.
Yeah, like it could be like Justin and like Usher or
Taylor
somebody.
Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Like, yeah, he'll sell.
All
out.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Taylor
actually, there's a
Swift-
question for you. The music scene downtown. All of us from outside probably picture it's all country music. Is it all country music, or are there other genres as well happening down there?
Oh
It's-
no,
It's everything. buddy.
all of it.
It's
We've got
all
good
genres.
Christian music
Yes.
here, art, blues, and we've got it all.
The quick tidbit, and fact check this if you like, but the music Nashville got the name Music City from the Fisk Jubilee Singers at Fisk University. That's how they got the name the Music City.
Huh.
Fact check that though.
Yeah. They should put that in the Google blurb instead
I
of
give you the
Vanderbilt.
tidbits, but you fact check that to make sure I'm telling the truth. But I'm sure.
Please do. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Somebody can
telling you.
comment below. Google that while you're watching it right now,
Right.
and comment and let
Let
us
me
know
know.
if that's correct or not.
Text us and
that's
tell me if
yes
I'm
or
telling
no.
the truth.
And then, so where do you guys go for vacation? You mentioned there's lots of lakes and rivers and waters and forests and things like that around. What would be, and you have an airport close by. So if you want to fly somewhere, you can fly somewhere pretty easily to go somewhere far away. But if you're doing a driving vacation, what's the go-to driving vacation for Nashvillians?
The good thing is that we're centrally located. If you look at Nashville on a map, we're about 3.5 hours from Atlanta.
Mhm.
We're 3 hours from Memphis. We're about 3.5 hours from Knoxville. We're about 3.5 hours from Louisville. We're about
Like an hour
about
and a half from Chattanooga.
an
or-
hour and a half from
6 hours?
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And most of the time we vacation here. If we wanted to go on a quick vacation,
7 hours from Destin. I think
yeah,
7 hours.
yeah,
to
it's
Destin.
a 7-hour drive to the beach.
Yeah, the beach.
Straight
in
65
Florida.
south, and it's called the Emerald Coast, where you have Destin, Sandestin, you have
30A.
Fort Walton Beach,
30A.
30A. I mean, all that's right there is a 6-hour drive, and it's an easy drive
I think
too.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5, 7 hours.
Depending how fast. If you're going
Yeah.
with Fred, it's 6 hours.
If you're going with me, we're gonna get there in 4.
She's gonna give me that link to the Spider-Man movie.
If you go, we're gonna get there in 4. No, it's centrally located. So, and then you can drive 3 hours east and just go up to the cabins and the Smokies at Gatlinburg, and I mean that's just a ton to do.
There's so much to do.
Chicago's about
Five
5.5
hours? Yeah.
5.5 hours away.
Cincinnati, I think it's
5.
5.
Yeah.
4. People can fact check us and text us. If, you know,
How far would you have to go skiing?
We're
Well-
big skiers.
Well, Gatlinburg has a ski resort, I think.
Gatlinburg
Okay.
does have
Yeah.
a ski resort.
Gatlinburg has
Yeah.
a ski resort.
There you go.
Another quick tidbit. You're gonna like this. I'm the king of tidbits. So, if you're in East Tennessee, it's a quicker drive to drive from East Tennessee to Canada than it is from East Tennessee to the west side of Tennessee.
What?
Yes,
Just because of traffic?
because of the distance, I reckon.
Huh. That's crazy. Fact check that too. Everybody Google it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if nothing else, we'll get some comments going. Comment below. And let us know if you think that's right.
It's just conversation starter.
That to me, it sounds like I'm going to need the fact or cap guys from TikTok to get in on this. They're like, that might be
Just great.
cap.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that.
Okay.
Somebody can remix this on when I put it on IG. However you,
Right.
I've never done a remix, but you can like comment or have whatever they do when they stare at the
measuring
other
tape,
person's thing.
absolutely.
I like
So now the last thing that everybody wants to know if they're moving there, obviously, is what are they going to get for the money? So here we'll start with what it's like here. I'd say 300-ish is probably about the entry level to getting that kind of American dream home, which I would define as like a single family home on maybe a 0.2 acre lot, 2-car garage, probably for that amount, 2 stories, 3, maybe 4 bedroom. So how does that compare to down there?
Wow. That sounds lovely.
So I'm guessing it costs more down there.
I would love for people to still be able to get that price range. That is not we have priced ourselves out.
Yes.
In the past year, it is just skyrocketed. I'd say every month it goes up and up and up and up and up, and the rates have been ticking up so much. And so it depends on the area, but for that kind of like American dream home, if you want to, it just really depends on the area. But if you want to be in that Nashville core area, you're really going to have to be shelling out at least $650.
And when you say Nashville core area, would that include like out to Lebanon, or does that start getting
So
cheaper when you head out to Lebanon or somewhere?
You could do like $450 to $500.
Yes.
Yeah, but you really
And is that
can't
new
do
construction, or you have old? Like, what's your oldest house? We have most of our, like, in the towns were the 1900 to 1920s. And then as you start to kind of come out of the downtowns, it gets into the 40s, 50s, 60s, and the new construction on the outer skirts of everything. Is it kind of same there?
Yeah, a lot of the houses a lot of ours will have that tall and skinny, and they'll put 2 on one lot. That's become the Nashville kind of new normal, especially in closer to town you are. Especially if you're closer to that downtown core, you'll see that 2 on one lot.
Yeah.
And that's called a horizontal property regime. It's called an HPR, and that you can get those still for around like $650.
Yeah.
So
it's like a duplex, like a side by side, or you're talking like a?
It isn't zoned a duplex. They zone them. It's called a horizontal property regime. So you and your neighbor both own your houses, and then the outside landscaping is communal.
There you go.
So it's kind of like a condo, but different somehow.
Yeah, it's like 6 feet between homes, and you see it a lot in Nashville, especially in the downtown areas where they're taking the older homes and knocking them down and building up newer homes. But like, say, to speak to what you were talking about, the older homes that we do have that are still standing, they are being rehabbed and renovated, and they are selling for a really good amount because they're closer to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then out in Lebanon, you can get some like new construction for that $450 to $550 range, just depending a townhouse to a home. Just depends.
Especially
Go ahead.
Especially if you get in on the subdivisions that are building, if you get in at, as they're starting to build, and you may have a 4 to 8 month wait, but at least you know that you have a property that you're going to get in early enough to get a new build. If you do that, you can get in $450,000, $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as here. You're waiting a year to get a house if you want something.
Yeah, everybody's capitalizing on this market, so they're selling it, and people are coming in and really making it a bidding war, like she was talking about earlier, and it's making it very difficult for some buyers. That's why it's always good to have a good team that can represent you, like the Onyx team. we can get
For
that.
sure. You know, all those little tricks and things you can do to make a offer stand out and to win one.
Yeah.
I won one. It was only the second offer for a buyer the other day, and most of my buyers average of like 5 offers till they get one. And this was the second. I was like, wow, this is great. So it's weird what we put up with these days. And then what we think is good when it only takes 2 offers to get one.
Right.
So what about acreage? If somebody wanted like 5-10 acres or like a farmette or something, where are they going to go for that? And what's that going to cost them?
So right around Murfreesboro, like outside of Murfreesboro, not in Murfreesboro, but outside of Murfreesboro, there's some farms. Outside of Franklin and Ashland City, there's some farms in Fairview. You can get Spring Hill. You can get some acreage and farms for that 600
in the 700 range, 5-10 acres. Yeah, it's going to be a drive to the city, but you will get your acreage. Now, closer to the city, you're talking 5 acres. You're talking 2.5 million, maybe.
Oh yeah. If you're closer in with some acreage, you're talking a lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
And then that's my next question actually is what's the luxury market like? So if somebody comes there with that 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, I guess 1 million is not really that high there. 2-3 million or something or more, where are they usually going? Are they buying something with acreage, or are they like downtown in some historic district with a brownstone or something like that? What's the luxury market like?
It just depends. It depends if we have condos, penthouse. We have a lot of this is so random because I'm from Nashville, and before we didn't even have a condo market. I'd say 15 years ago we really didn't. I mean, there was condos, but nobody was like, oh yeah, the condo market in Nashville. It's like wild.
It's a big deal.
And now there's a big condo market here with penthouses and very expensive chic condos. Broad West is one of them. Very cool new apartment complex close to all the amenities near downtown, and Whole Foods which is downtown, and those will run you like 600,000 plus.
Just for a condo.
Yeah.
For how many bedrooms? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom?
A one bedroom.
And this is like apartment style condos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What the normal consumer would picture as a condo. We won't get into explaining what a condo is or isn't.
But then we also do have, beautiful big homes, like you would think of in the South, those antebellum homes. We have things like that. We have those new construction homes that I'm sure everyone has in their market, where somebody knocks an old house out on a great lot and then builds a, 5,500 square foot house, and that might be 2.5 million, to 3.5 million.
And the areas
go ahead.
To give you a name of the areas you may see those type of homes in, it would be like the Brentwood area, would be like the Franklin area, the Green Hills area. What's that? Forest
Hill,
Belmead, areas like that.
Gotcha. And what was I going to say? Something you said. I forget. Damn it. I blanked there. Whatever. HOAs. You touched on HOAs. Obviously, condos have HOAs. What's a typical fee for like that kind of condo thing? And then I have another follow-up question about HOAs.
It just depends. We are a big city of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You will see houses, on the, just on the street, but it's predominantly, you will see, like I had a client come in here from California and she's like, I want a house, but I don't want to be a part of an HOA. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It's going to be hard to find.
I was like, I was, taken aback. I was like, oh gosh, the inventory is already really limited and now you don't want to be part of an HOA. So I was like, wow, okay. But, of course found great place for them. But, I would say the average HOA can go anywhere from 350 up, just depending on the amenities. Some of them are lower if they don't offer, the amenities. But we are a big city: Nashville, Brentwood, Franklin, Lebanon, Hermitage, Mount Juliet. You will see that Hendersonville. You'll see houses in neighborhoods that's in with HOAs.
And are they gated? I don't understand the gating anywhere. We don't have gated communities. I don't understand what people are gating against. Who's invading these places that they need to gate it? But are these places gated or not gated?
We do have a lot of gated neighborhoods, but we have several celebrities that live here. And sometimes they'll live in the gated neighborhoods. Maybe they feel safer
Protected
with
or
the,
whatever.
you know, some of our gated neighborhoods, especially the like luxury ones, they have 24-hour, you know, security monitoring and all of that. So maybe it makes them feel
Safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I wonder, I mean,
And to
so
get it-
are
to
some
get
of the
it-
amenities golf courses and things? Is part of it also to keep people
Yes.
away from the
I was
amenities?
just about to say that. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. You have some really nice neighborhoods here in the South Nashville area where they have a golf course lining the backyards of these nice homes,
Mhm.
and it's a highly sought after place to get into. So yeah, it makes it very competitive, and I'd imagine those HOAs in there. What
Oh yeah,
raise up
those
the
are
higher
much
end
higher.
of it.
Yeah, much higher HOAs than, you know, say one with just a pool, like
Yeah.
a family pool and no gating or anything.
Or just a newer neighborhood. They normally will have a lower HOA because of it's a newer neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what. And then once the builder leaves and they turn it over to the homeowners, then it starts going up and everything gets older and replaced and the fees go up. So before we move on to the last thing, tell everybody what the market's like right now. You touched on it a little bit. Is it still inventory's low? You're competing offer situations. Tell us a little bit about what it's like right now in January of 2022.
Inventory is low if you live in Nashville and you want to sell your house. If you've been thinking about selling your house, give us a call. If you have a realtor already, give them a call. We have clients that want to buy houses.
Absolutely.
There are no houses out there. I would like to know a city that is having a inventory surplus,
Right.
actually, because but it's and with the rates going up, I fear for my clients that they're going to get priced out of some of their price ranges, which is a real fear for a lot of realtors, I think, just
Yes.
across the country, that work with people who aren't paying cash, you know, whose clients aren't paying cash. You know, we work with a lot of first time home buyers, and they're, you know, putting, you know, maybe 5% down, and they'll get priced out very quickly
Right.
with these interest rates.
Which is
Yeah,
normally,
and they barely have
normally,
enough
right?
cash to buy the house to begin with.
Right.
And then you got to cover
Right.
some appraisal gap, and I got to come up with 10 grand extra just to get the house. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. So we are just like, we're just looking everywhere under rocks, under like anybody talking to realtors we know.
Right.
I mean, anybody, ask somebody at a grocery store, you know, just anybody who has a house. I don't know even if we're not listening, if you're just going to list it with your friend or your friend's friend or whatever, we just need the inventory.
Or new construction too. Everybody, I'm like,
Yes.
well, we can go look at resales, but remember, there's also, you might have to wait a little bit. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's usually a good buy, a good investment, especially if you're buying at the beginning of a neighborhood. Usually you're going to make out okay, and you're not going to have to do any maintenance. If it's a townhouse or a condo and a first-time buyer, you don't have to worry about doing anything. But a lot of people, they want to sit around and wait and fight over the resale that somebody flipped,
Right.
and pay way over what they should pay for it. So, all right, let's move on to our last question before we close out, which has nothing to do with real estate, but does have to do with both of you. And we'll start with Fred, since you're on the left. If you could do
All right.
any other thing or be any other thing as a profession, what would it be? What would you do?
So I was prepared for this question because I did my research, buddy. So I wasn't going to allow you to stump me with this question. All right. So if I could do anything else, which I absolutely love what I do now, I would be still in the serving part of the business. I would be an entertainment or a sports agent.
Okay. Yeah. So still an agent, still negotiating, still brokering deals.
Still going to bat for my people. You know how it goes.
Sounds like if the real estate game for us agents gets really bad someday and computers are doing our jobs, maybe you can become a sports agent and translate those skills over.
There you go.
And then what about you, Alexa?
I would be a lawyer. I probably maybe a criminal defense. I'd like contracts. I love the business side of real estate. I love working with people, but I really do love negotiating contracts, reading through everything, making sure my clients understand everything as well.
I can definitely see you as a lawyer.
But I really do like arguing. I really arguing with the other realtors.
What you should do is
like
have a
what
flea
you do.
market stand, and you could go and dicker. You should be a picker, what, right?
Picker.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not.
You
it's
have a
not
lot of
fair.
picking down there. That's where
Yeah,
that one
negotiate.
show was, is Nashville, I think, maybe.
What's that?
American Pickers?
Oh,
I feel like that was
yes.
in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was cool.
So you got to check out Letterkenny and tell me if you like it then. But
Yeah, I will.
because they call it dickering. And now tell us, everybody, tell not me, but everybody else, what your phone number and your email is. Say it aloud so anybody that might be listening on audio format later can write it down. It'll also be in the description, up or down, wherever you're watching or listening. And I will note that I think everything you're about to say is Alexa's contact information. So if you call or email this information, it will be Alexa, but they don't really care who you reach out to. So go ahead and tell everybody where to reach you.
It'll get.
Yeah.
It'll get either way. It'll get to both of us. So we are the Onyx Group with Partners Real Estate here in Nashville. Alexa Coulton, and
Fred McGinnis.
you can call the number down there 615-473-2102 and Fred.
615-424-8442.
And you can just email that email. And we also have an email, theonyxgroup@gmail.com. And we are working on our website now. We are a new team. So we are working on all of our socials and our website, and we'll have it all rolling.
And we'll
We're
send it
really
to you,
excited.
Derek, so you can share underneath, this good podcast that you have going here, man. We appreciate you reaching out and allowing us to
do.
even take part of this. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
Definitely. I appreciate you being here. I love learning more about not only the people, but also the places. A lot of these places, I don't really, like a true American, I don't know jack about geography or other places other than where I live. So it's nice to learn about people and then get closer and build referral partners. And also, realtors are the best tour guides. If you ever visit anywhere,
Absolutely.
the best person to look up, don't look up a concierge service or something. Find the highest producing realtor in the area and call them and ask them where you should go for dinner or what you should do. And that's how you should go about it. So I do appreciate you both being on here. Alexa, play. What's your favorite? Alexa, play music.
Oh, gosh.
That's a fun. You should play that game. I like to, when we go into houses, if they have an Alexa, I like to play guess what kind of music these people listen to. You guess, and then you just say, Alexa, play music, and it's going to play the last thing that they were playing.
Oh.
Say, guess, I think these people listen to country music or whatever. Then you just say, Alexa, play music, and then if they do play music on it, something will play, and it's usually the last thing they were listening to. So
Nice.
little fun Alexa thing for you guys. So reach out to them, and like they said in the description, I'll have both their phone numbers, both their emails, the website, all that stuff, and I can come back and change it later to their new website and all that stuff, all their Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, YouTube, all the social media links and everything, whatever they have are there for you to click on as well. So reach out to them. Contact me if you need to buy or sell a home in Central Pennsylvania or anywhere in the world. Like I said, we have a vast network of real estate professionals all over the globe. So reach out to me and I can connect you with people like Fred and Alexa. You can call me, text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, send a carrier pigeon, go to my website, whatever you need to do. I want to speak to you about buying or selling real estate. Thanks again for watching and listening. Thanks again for being here, Fred and Alexa. And say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.